England's victory over India in the first T20I was emphatic and decisive. It's an 8 wicket margin is huge in any format, particularly in T20. In the first match, the gulf between the two teams was really just too big. It belied the fact that actually India are number two in the rankings while England are number one. It seemed on that day that the gulf between the two teams was far more. What worked for England, I thought, was excellent, high quality fast bowling by Jordan, Wood, and Stokes, particularly, and of course Archer, who picked up 3 wickets and the Man of the Match award. And then Adil Rashid bowled his leg spin with quite good control. I thought opening the bowlings with Adil Rashid was a bit of a surprise. Maybe Ian Morgan had seen what transpired in the Test matches, the last two Test matches played there, which India won comprehensively on pitches that help spin. So maybe that was a factor, and why not? I mean, if you followed the Test series so closely, you would know that spinners would get something from it. But overall, I thought England were quite remarkable in the field. They never let India get any sort of momentum. The control with which the fast bowlers bowled, and of course also the spinners. But I thought Morgan, the way he marshaled his resources, orchestrated the bowling changes, never let the pressure ease on the batsman, was something to be, it was most admirable. And that's why he is regarded so highly where white ball cricket is concerned. Remember, he was captain of the England team which won the World Cup in 2019. And even in T20, he's been quite outstanding as a leader. From India's point of view, it started off on a bit of a back foot by not including Rohit Sharma. I think there is a deliberate or a thought out process of resting some key players, not playing them in all matches. Maybe we may not see Virat also in some of the later matches, but Rohit, it was earlier announced that he and KL Rahul would open the batting. It didn't happen. In fact, Virat came and said that Rohit will not play the first couple of games, and that seemed to make a difference because Rahul got out cheaply, Dhawan didn't last long, and Virat got a blob. Trouble against leg spinners coming up yet again. And it's something that he needs to, because he had two back-to-back ducks now, so that's something he needs to guard against now or overcome. 124 was built around Shreyas Iyer, 67, the only batsman who looked to have come to terms with the pitch and the bowling. 48 balls, 8 fours and a 6, and I think Shreyas Iyer has been one of the better performers in white ball cricket over the last year and a half, and one can sense him going on to do bigger things from here. Jason Roy and Josh Butler gave England a very good start, 72 runs in 8 overs. In fact, the way in which England batted, it didn't seem that the pitch was so poor that India could have made only 124. So India had nobody to kind of impose any shackles on the English batsmen, and the match was easily won by England. Even Yuzvendra Chahal leaked 44 runs off his 4 overs in 1 wicket. So remarkable contrast between the two teams, as I mentioned, though the ranking may show only 1 and 2, the pecking order. Now, the second match is going to be held at the same venue, and will the pitch be, even if it's not the same, will it play similarly? It could. I think overall it seems to me that the square on which all the pitches have been made will have a certain kind of character. We saw that in the Test matches. We have seen it here. What helped England in the first match was that the bowlers were willing to put in a lot of shoulder in their to get speed and pace and bounce of the pitch, especially Mark Wood and Jofra Archer. Now, from India's point of view, what needs to be done in the second match? Shikhar Dhawan and Virat. Shikhar Dhawan, certainly I would think under more pressure than Virat. Virat, of course, would want to atone for his duck. But Shikhar Dhawan could be a casualty once Rohit comes back, so he needs to get runs. Will Rishabh Pant bat ahead of Shreyas Iyer, considering that Shreyas Iyer top scored for India in the first match? I think that's a flexi situation. It will depend on the position of the match. I thought that the idea to send Rishabh out was to seize control of the proceedings. It didn't happen, that's a different matter. When the bowling or the all-rounders is concerned, will India persist with the combination of Washington Sundar and Akshar Patel. Remember, there is Rahul Tewatia there, and then there are pace bowling options like Deepak Chahar and Navdeep Saini, who can be considered. It just remains to be seen, because one of the things is that yes, Akshar and Sundar can come into bat if you have lots of wickets falling, but if they are not falling so many wickets and batting at number 7, number 8, are you better off with bowlers or specialist bowlers? Something to think about. The good part for India was Hardik Pandya turning his arm over and showing that he's getting into complete fitness where bowling is concerned, and that's so important, so crucial from India's point of view. Where England are concerned, frankly, there are very few concerns. Almost everybody seemed to have done well in the previous match, so why would they be worried? The fast bowlers, Adil Rashid, the talmel, the combo, the balance, the jugalbandi between all these, bowlers was fantastic, and wickets fell at regular intervals for them to keep the pressure on India. Jason Roy and Butler looked in good form. Malan at number 3 looked solid, and Bairstow, who had suffered badly in the Test series, also looked very good. And remember, there was no need for Ben Stokes and Ian Morgan to bat. So it's a very powerful team, as I mentioned at the start, and I don't see England making changes. There's no need to. They should be playing the same 11. The picks for me from this in this match from India, the options, I think KL Rahul and Virat have they're very good at this format. In fact, Virat in any format, and I think they're the crux for India's batting to come good. Batting at Rahul is the opener, Virat at number 3. Also Rishabh Pant, the form that he has been in. Bhuvneshwar Kumar played in the first match. Will he be in the second? I think so. And he could be a key factor, because if he gets the late swing going, then it could be. So you don't always need pace to beat the other batsman, beat the batsman of the other side. But you can do that even with clever, late swing and clever control, clever lines and length. For England, the players I would pick are Roy and Butler as openers, certainly. Archer, without question, and Adil Rashid in the bowling attack. Archer and Adil Rashid, and of course Ian Morgan as the captain.